let's listen to this man. He got some good news for you. Hey, everybody, gather near. The doctor's in the house, so lend him your ear. The things he can say might even make your day. He might even help your pain go away. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. I'm sure he can tell you just what to do. The doctor is in the house.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the doctor is in the house. Welcome, everybody. And I do welcome you with an attitude of gratitude to the 636 plus podcast from your host. And today we're going to continue our discussion of neuropathy because I hear it every day. And we're going to be talking about energy and the biology of healing. Why so many standards fail. Why energy-based healing approaches, particularly light frequency and cellular bioenergetics, why they deserve serious attention. This topic is hot on everybody's list where I live here in Southwest Florida. And they are all going to pain managers. And the key word is managing. Pain management, not curing. You know, they're getting their monthly dose of OxyContin or gabapentin, and you know they are patients for life and pharmaceutical clients for life. That's why we're going to continue to talk about this situation. And if you are around Tuesday at 11 a.m., I'll be talking with Drs. Smith and Wong live on YouTube on my second podcast station, which is called The Real Health Rebellion Radio. The Real Health Rebellion Radio. It'll be live both on YouTube and Rumble. And it'll be there cataloged under the live podcast if you don't make it in time for 11 a.m. on Tuesday. So I'm sorry to beat up on this, but this is a serious topic where I live. And I'm getting tired of people telling me how many doctor's appointments per week they go to, and I don't see anything changing. So again, I'm Dr. Ron. We're going to be talking today about neuropathy, what it actually is, and why so many standard treatments fail. And this is not speculation. It's biology, it's physics, it's physiology working together. And as you know, if you've been a long-time listener, Dr. Wong is also a PhD in physiology. And I think our young doctors today must have skipped that course. So a brief recap, what is neuropathy? What is it really? It's commonly described as a nerve problem, but that's not a complete description of neuropathy. Neuropathy is better understood as a failure of the cellular energy, a failure of microcirculation and electrical signaling within the nervous system. Here's that nerve energy again. The symptoms are burning, tingling, numbness, stabbing pain, weakness, and they are not random. They reflect, in my opinion and the opinion of many specialists, impaired mitochondrial ATP production. What is that? The mitochondria are the energy cells of our body. They can do one of two things. They can make energy, and so you have lots of energy, you feel good, you have no brain fog, or if you have a lot of inflammation and toxicities going on, the mitochondria go to fight that and leave you with little energy. So neuropathy reflects an impaired mitochondrial ATP production, a disrupted axonal transport, that is, something stopping the signals from going down the axon of the nerve. It reflects chronic inflammation. It reflects alterations in the cell membrane voltage. and it reflects a reduced blood flow to the nervous tissue. And remember, nerves are among the most energy-dependent tissues in the body. So when energy production fails or falters, the nerves suffer first, and guess what? They heal last. So what does the standard allopathic medical approach focus on? Well, as we have been talking about, they focus on suppression of the symptoms, putting a Band-Aid on, rather than actual repair of the biology. And you hear about it. Gabapentin or pregabalin, that dampens the nerve signal. It's also $1 billion drug. Antidepressants to alter pain perception. And we know that the SSRIs are fraught with side effects, including suicide. Steroids to reduce inflammation. And as one of my good friends say, you take steroids or cortisone to make your bones weak. And occasional vitamin replacement. So that's what they have in their in their quiver: gabapentin, antidepressants, steroids, and maybe some vitamins. Excuse me. So these interventions may reduce discomfort, but they do not restore the structure of the nerve. They do not restore mitochondrial function, and neither do they affect electrical coherence. So, they say, well, I had an EMG. Well, even diagnostic tools like the EMG, electromyogram, and nerve conduction studies frequently miss small fiber neuropathy. And so they leave the neurologist's office or the physiotherapy office, and they're told everything is normal. But the patient knows they're still having symptoms. The symptoms persist. It's not because neuropathy is untreatable, but because the wrong biological targets are being addressed. You have to think of neuropathy as an energy crisis. Nerves communicate electrically. They regenerate slowly. They require sustained ATP production, mitochondria. So when the mitochondria are damaged, and as we get older, they get older too. If you have diabetes or toxins in your environment, and who doesn't, with the Roundups and the atrazines, and there's 18,000 of them that are in America. So if you're elderly, you have diabetes, you're exposed to toxins, you're taking medications, and I just did a podcast on that. There's so many seniors taking 5 or more medications. If you have chronic inflammation or poor circulation, what happens? Your nerves lose their ability to conduct signals, and very importantly, they can't repair themselves. This is where energy medicine enters the conversation. So there's a role for light therapy called photobiomodulation, PBM. Photobiomodulation uses red or near infrared light to stimulate cellular energy production. How does it do that? It increases how much ATP or mitochondria synthesize. It improves oxygen utilization. So even though you may not have an oxygen catheter, it makes the oxygen you have more utilizable. It enhances microcirculation. It reduces the inflammatory signaling. It supports nerve conduction velocity. What's that fancy word mean? It means that the electricity can flow through the nerves much easier. And it promotes tissue repair, photobiomodulation, red light therapy. And this is achieved by the light interacting with cytochrome C oxidase in the mitochondrial chain. Well documented mechanism, but maybe your doctor's just not familiar with it. So red light therapy, laser therapy, really important. Other energy-based therapies that work together are pulsed electromagnetic fields. That's called PEMF. PEMF helps restore cellular voltage and improve circulation. Microcurrent therapy, these are pads like a TENS unit, but on a more sophisticated level, supports membrane potential and the repair of the nerves. Infrared, which is a different wavelength of light that you cannot see, enhances blood flow and reduces pain signaling. Why am I mentioning these? Because these approaches do not replace your biology, but they optimize it so your body has the tools to heal itself. And the mitochondria are central to all this healing. Nerve generation can take months or 2 years, usually 24 months. The process cannot occur without a lot of energy. So if your mitochondria are being damaged by stress and insulin resistance and nutrient deficiencies and chronic inflammation, and something I'm sure the pain management docs don't talk about is EMF exposure, electromagnetic field exposure. I'm sure they're not telling you to turn your Wi-Fi off at night. Take that Apple Watch off your wrist. But EMF exposure continues to add toward mitochondrial dysfunction. And you have to stay active. You need movement because reduced movement and circulation also add to mitochondrial dysfunction. And a bottom line of all this, you can't, you cannot, you can't, you cannot. You hear that? You can't rebuild nerve tissue with depleted mitochondria. Healing requires restoring the power supply. There's little power pockets in every cell. So what do? Well, the allopathic physicians and other physicians and the naturopaths, the naturopaths do this all the time. Allopathic physicians are into shots and nerve blocks and whatever, and that's just Band-Aids. But what actually supports nerve repair is increase the cellular energy. How do you do that? You support your mitochondria. We just talked about photobiomodulation, regular movements, and resistance exercise. That's light weights. Taking the right kind of supplements like magnesium glycinate. Take alpha-lipoic acid and CoQ10. Take glycine. Glycine is important because it's an antidote to glyphosate, and glyphosate is what is in Roundup. It's a toxin. And make sure you have adequate, clean protein intake. So you'll have to improve your energy production, number one, uno. Number two, you have to restore electrical coherence, it's called. Nerve signaling depends on stable electrical gradients. Here we can recommend PEMF, that pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, the microcurrent therapy, grounding, the simple thing of taking your shoes off and let your feet touch the ground and get those free electrons from the earth that are antioxidants. And I can't talk about this enough because you know me, minimizing your nighttime exposure to electromagnetic fields. Improve your sleep and circadian rhythms. You have to restore the electrical environment of the nerves so that they can function. We'll talk maybe a little bit more on Tuesday about the Schumann frequency of 7.83 hertz. You may need to get a device that plays that in your bedroom so you can have a restorative night's sleep for your nervous system. And you have to, number three, support nerve repair. You start working on the nerve energy, and then the signaling, and then the structure. The key supporters of the structure of the nerve are omega fatty acids, but not the fish oils, which are just antifreeze for deep water fish, and they are all adulterated. Look into products like Parent Essential Oils. There's one company that I use. I get nothing for this, but it's called YES. And if you're really bad, you might want to look into EZ Trek, the letter E, Z, and TREK, developed by a brilliant engineer from MIT, Professor Brian Peskin. So omega acids, 3 and 6, but unadulterated, parent, and you don't need a lot. B complex vitamins, continued use of red light. Make sure your blood sugar is adequately regulated and keep moving. Maybe a light massage would really help. This is how regeneration becomes possible. Neuropathy is not something that you must simply be managed. I started out with this, right? You don't want to manage it. You want to cure it. In many cases, it can be meaningfully improved and sometimes reversed when the biology is addressed correctly. So we have to get beyond treating the symptoms or suppressing the symptoms, and we have to go more toward restoring energy, circulation, electrical signaling, and last but definitely not least, mitochondrial health. This is not alternative medicine, ladies and gentlemen. This is foundational physiology found in the physiological textbooks. Just for the heck of it, I had looked it up before we went on air today. I want to see if I can find it. Maybe I can't. I just gabapentin, and Lyrica. They don't heal anything. And I read someplace where it's like $1 billion a year people spend on that. And people say to me, well, my doctor's recommended B12 shots. Well, that's okay. But only if you have a deficiency. And steroid shots, well, they definitely calm inflammation, but they worsen long-term nerve healing. Okay? I mean, that's just the facts of it. Just the facts. And so let me just put a plug in for something. I have a Substack page now. It's called Doctor's Page or Dr. Ron on Substack. And on Substack, I post 4 or 5 times a week different articles on different subjects. And I have one on neuropathy. I just posted one today on seed oils. It's a free subscription. You don't have to pay anything. It's called Dr. Ron Substack. And I'd appreciate you if you sign up. You'll get an email every so often when I post something. Okay. Once I get to a certain number, I'll be allowed to do live presentations. Okay. So that would be a big help. And don't forget this coming Tuesday, along with Dr. Wong and Dr. Smith, we'll be talking about what your doctor doesn't tell you about neuropathy and the treatments out there that he doesn't talk about because they are curative. They don't keep you as a client forever. So if you or someone you love is dealing with neuropathy, understand this. Healing begins when you restore power to the system. And with that, I want to thank you for listening to this podcast, which is Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored. If you found value in this discussion, please share it. Please subscribe. You can subscribe on Podbean. Download the app. And you continue to learn what real healing looks like and how it really works. So thank you so much. Have a great day. And hopefully we will see you Tuesday on YouTube.
Hey everybody, Dr. Ron's finished for today. I hope you got some good wisdom for what the man had to say. If it's all about good health, he's the man you got to see. He has a lot more answers for you. So tune in next week when the doctor is in the house. Or when the doctor is in the house. And let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in Let the doctor know what's bothering you. I'm sure he can tell you just what to do. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you when the doctor is in the house.